So before COVID happened, I would wake up at 5:20 a.m., use the bathroom, eat breakfast, then I would drive to the train station, get there around 6 a.m., wait for the train to show up at 6:20 a.m., sit on the train for about 20 minutes, get off at around 6:40, and then I would arrive at my work spot, or like in my cubicle, at around 7:15 exactly on the dot every day, and I would begin my workday. Then I would get off at exactly 4 p.m. because that's when I clock out, and then I would repeat the whole process backwards. So then I'd walk back to the train station, ride the train, walk back to my car, drive back home, and I'd roughly be back home by around 5 p.m. So for the most part, I'm literally gone for about 12 hours a day. But now, ever since COVID happened, my employer basically let everyone on our floor work from home. Now, I don't need to do all of that commuting and waking up early anymore. I can now literally just wake up, browse my phone, and get up whenever I want to, or whenever I have to use the bathroom. Then I would stretch, eat breakfast, and then I start my day at maybe 7 or even 8 a.m. if I wanted to. Because let's be honest here, no one in my floor is micromanaging me, and there's no way for them to check that I'm not physically present at my home. I mean, I have my computer on and my Microsoft Teams on open, so they could see that I'm available even though I'm not literally there presently. And if they ever do message me, I could always just say, oh, I was in the bathroom. So it's hard to tell really if someone is there or not. But all that being said, I basically don't even work 8 hours a day. And after realizing that I spent 12 hours every single day doing this, I don't want to work 8 hours a day. And so today I'm gonna explain why I don't work 8 hours a day and really why I don't want to. I know I am very privileged here to where I can say that I don't have to work 8 hours a day. People who are privileged enough to work from home, they get to say this. And honestly, I know that they do this too. Even my bosses and managers, they know that deep down, not everyone can work 8 hours a day. And these are basically the same reasons that every single employer, whether it's you or me or even the boss, they do too. These are the reasons why no one basically works 8 hours a day. So the first reason why I don't work 8 hours a day is that physically I can't. Physically, I don't think anyone in the world can work 8 hours a day. Straight up from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., not including break and lunchtime. People physically cannot focus on one material, one item for 8 hours straight. Just think about studying, for example. There's no way in the world anyone can actually study 8 hours straight without using the bathroom, without having to stop and rest for some time. So it is physically and mentally impossible to do something for 8 hours straight, no matter what you do. For example, you're stopping to take a 15-minute bathroom break or 5-minute water break or something like that. But of course, all that still adds up to you working. You're still getting paid for that 15-minute pooping, and there's no shame in hiding that fact that you are trying to squeeze in as little unproductive work as you can and still get paid for it. Next is that I don't want to work 8 hours a day. So first off, you can't work 8 hours a day, and obviously no one wants to actually work 8 hours a day. They would rather spend that 8 hours doing whatever they want rather than 8 hours of something else. Yeah, I know, right? I sound like such a spoiled brat for saying this, but deep down, we all know it's true. No one wants to spend 8 hours of doing something that they are not required to do, or something that they're forced to do. And lastly, it's that we don't need to work 8 hours a day. So because of COVID, again, this is just a perfect example, me waking up at 5 a.m. and then spending all my work time, putting in my effort, getting home at 5 p.m., spending about 12 hours every single day just to put in effort for my work. Because of COVID and allowing us to work from home, we realized that we can still work from home efficiently and still get the job done without having to put so much time into it. Is it really a badge of honor to have to stay in late at the office, make sure that you are physically present at the facility for 8 to 12 hours a day? No, you're not doing anything productive. You're just sitting there, twiddling your thumbs, and you're getting paid to do that. Why do we have to physically be there and waste our time for 12 hours every single day for 5 to 7 days a week, getting paid to physically be there? It's just a waste of our time. It's inefficient. And deep down again, I'm just pointing out the obvious. We know that we're spending 15 minutes in the bathroom, 15 minutes at that water break room, talking to our colleagues about life or gossiping or whatever. So my coworkers, they would go to the gym for 2-3 hours every single day from 11 a.m. to maybe 1 p.m. So that's again 2 hours of their working, and they're getting paid to do that. I'm not gonna blame them and say that you can't do that or it's bad for them because they're obviously taking care of their body. But don't they just feel sort of guilty or shameful that they're doing that and then they're getting paid to do that? No, they don't. I don't even feel guilty. I want them to do that. I think it's just better time because, they're improving their life in some aspect. So in that scenario, they're not wasting their time. They're spending 2 hours to physically improve themselves. So why have to physically be at the facility for 12 hours and waste your time rather than, spend 2 hours going to the gym? In the end, it just makes sense to not work 8 hours a day. It just makes sense to not waste your time. It makes sense to let people who can work from home to work from home. It doesn't make sense to hold someone down and make them physically be present at your facility for 8 hours a day. And this is coming from an engineering perspective, okay? So you want to make sure that every time spent, every resource is used efficiently. So if you have 24 hours a day and you're making someone be there for 12 hours a day, why do that when they don't have to? If I can get my work done in 2 or 4 hours every single day, then let them complete their work in 2 or 4 hours and then give them the rest of the day off. They've completed what they had to do. The end goal is just to get the job done. So once you complete that, then let them, be happy. You got what you wanted from them, so let them enjoy the rest of their time. That means they were skillful enough to complete their work in a short amount of time, so why, hold them against that? So for the most part, my job, I can probably do every single task I, put on myself in 2 or 4 hours every single day. Typically, I try to finish it as fast as I can. Of course, I don't want my time constraint to affect my performance. I don't want to be lazy and say, oh, I have to do this in 4 hours, therefore I will only work 4 hours and then, give mediocre results. I still put my best efforts into it, but again, it doesn't take me that long to complete the task. So I don't think I'm taking advantage of this. I just don't think that it's really worth the time and effort for someone to have to stay longer than they should. Okay, so I hope you guys can see my point of view. I'm not trying to complain. I just want to point out some different perspectives and results that people might not have thought of. And in a way, I hope that this does become the norm. I hope that implemented throughout other fields too. Yes, there are some jobs that you have to physically be there, or other jobs that force employees to go to the office. You don't have to do that. If you have forced your employees to work from home and you're still in good business, then you obviously have results. You have proof already that you can still work even under these conditions. So at this point, you might as well just let it be. Because even if you go back to the office, even if you go back to the whole 8-hour workday, what's really going to change? There are pre-COVID results and then there are current COVID results. Were you more efficient before, or are you more efficient after? Just compare the results there and then, you decide for yourself. Okay, so that's all I have for this video. Let me know if you are actually working from home. I'm not sure if this video is applicable to other viewers out there because you might not even have a job that allows you to work from home. Just let me know down in the comments. That's all I have for today. Goodbye.